students, welcome you all again to another session under the same topic, the theory of firm under perfect competitive structure or the perfect competitive market structure. Here we are going to study under this topic. Today the topic of discussion is shutdown point and normal profit and break-even point, and the other topic is factors the determinants of firm supply curve under perfect competitive market structure. The first we will see what is shutdown point. The shutdown point is a situation where firm can able to meet only its variable cost by selling the output produced by that firm. That means the situation where the revenue, what we say sale of output is the sale of outputs produced by the firm gives the firm revenue of the firm. The revenue of the firm will be equal to the average variable cost incurred by the firm for that particular production of the commodity. Therefore, the shutdown point in the sense, it means at the point where we say shutdown point, where the price will be equal to the average variable cost. That is what it is written here. That shutdown point is a situation where the total revenue received by selling the goods is exactly equal to the variable cost incurred by the firm. Therefore, in the mathematical equation, we can explain it. TR is equal to TVC at the point where shutdown is reached. That is, in other way, what we can do, both the sides, right hand side as well as left hand side, we can divide the TR by Q, the number of units of output produced by the firm, and also TVC also is divided by the same Q, the number of units produced by the firm. Therefore, TR by Q, what is the TR by Q? In the last sessions, I have explained to you all that total revenue per unit of output is nothing but average revenue. That is, per unit, the revenue per unit of output. What is total average variable cost? Average variable cost is the variable cost per unit of output. That means to produce one unit of output, how much variable cost incurred is called as average variable cost. Therefore, you can refer the shutdown point where the total revenue is equal to TVC, that is total variable cost incurred for the output production, or you can say average revenue is equal to ABC. AR is equal to ABC. Both are same only. Average revenue in the sense, we mean the revenue per unit of output. Total revenue we mean by that the revenue earned by selling all the outputs produced by the firm. Therefore, in terms of average revenue, we refer per unit of output. In terms of average variable cost, we refer per unit of cost for the production of per unit of output. And we have seen that for a perfect market, competitive market, price, we can say price line, this is price, this is output. This is a peculiar structure under perfect competitive market where firms are price takers. Firms are price takers, therefore prices are constant, remain constant. A single firm is concerned, firm cannot influence the market price. Therefore, P is constant, P is parallel to x-axis, a horizontal line. That also we proved that P is nothing but average revenue, AR. Also we proved that it is also MR. Therefore, for a firm which functioning under perfect competitive market structure, the price line is equivalent to average revenue curve of the firm, and also the same price line is equivalent to marginal revenue curve of the firm. That you are clear, because I have clearly explained in my previous sessions. Therefore, when you say TR is equal to TVC, by both the sides, by dividing by unit of output Q, you are deriving AR is equal to ABC. Therefore, both same meaning only at the shutdown point. Or you can say, instead of AR, you can say P is equal to ABC. Price is equal to ABC. So you should understand how we derived this one. Because only for the market structure, perfect competitive market structure, when firm functions under that particular structure, P is equivalent to AR, AR is equal to MR, we have proved. How we proved? By AR is equal to TR by Q. What is TR? P into Q divided by Q. Here Q get cancelled. Therefore, what is AR? AR is equal to P. I hope you have understood clearly. Therefore, P is equal to ABC at the point where shutdown reached. Therefore, price is equal to ABC. You will remember this because what are the three conditions we studied for the profit maximizing level of output by a firm under perfect competitive market structure. Here, we studied the condition needed for profit maximizing firm is P is greater than or equal to ABC, average variable cost, ABC. Here, we are telling the shutdown point is reached at this session. That shutdown point is where when price comes equivalent to ABC, this point is called as shutdown point. Shutdown point. I hope everything is clear to you. And we will go to the next slide. Now, we are we are going to explain the shutdown point with the help of a diagram. What this diagram explains to you? This diagram explains to you that output is measured along the x-axis and price and the cost are measured along the y-axis. Therefore, in the exam point of view, when they ask you explain a short-run supply curve of a firm or a long-run supply curve of a firm, the first thing you have to do, the labeling of the diagrams, you have to mention what is x-axis denotes and what is y-axis denotes. The diagram itself will speak about pages of messages. Therefore, you have to mention first thing output. Many of times we see the students never explain the axis. First you have to explain the axis. X-axis measures output, y-axis measures not only price, cost also. Because in this diagram you can see in the same plane we are indicating price line is a horizontal line. You know, for perfect market competitive structure, always price line is horizontal to the x-axis. And also cost curves. There are three different cost curves you can see here. One is short-run marginal cost curve, short-run average cost curve, average variable cost curve. When you see variable cost, you will automatically understand this is a short-run production firm because there is a difference between variable cost and total cost. Therefore, it is average cost. And what is this diagram? I hope you will remember this diagram is nothing but short-run supply curve of a firm. Last class, it was taught how to derive a short-run supply curve of a firm under perfect market competitive structure. Here, this is what these bold lines. There are two bold lines are there. This is one bold line and this is another bold line. You know how to get when this bold line, that is nothing but it's a supply curve. We know for a firm functioning under perfect market competitive structure, supply curve is a part of the marginal cost curve. It's not a separate supply curve. It's a supply marginal cost part of the segment of the SMC curve, that is short-run marginal cost itself is referred to as supply curve. This is the positive level of output is derived when the situation price is greater than average variable cost. That is a case 1 and case 2. We studied and I have given a question also to you to answer how to derive a short-run supply curve of a firm under perfect market competition. It is a long answer question, 20 sentences to be written and the diagram, this one and the other one between different market prices, you have to write two cases. Case 1, we get this supply curve. What is the case 1? Price is greater than average variable cost. You can see here, greater than or equal. At this point it is equal price, and this above the point it is greater than. Therefore, this is the supply curve for the positive level of output. This is what is this? This is the price less than average variable cost. You see, this is the minimum average variable cost, where the price and the minimum average variable cost both intersect. You can see this is the price point, and this is the point where price line and the minimum ABC both intersect. Not only that, marginal cost curve from below cut the average variable cost at its minimum. That is, this is the minimum of ABC curve, where MC curve comes from below and intersect minimum ABC. And the price line, when we extend the price line, it also intersect minimum ABC. This is the point called as shutdown point. That is, shutdown point where price is equal to ABC here. I hope you understood. This is the shutdown point. Price is equal to ABC, and what is happening here, you can say that when you go down along the supply curve, that is from here to go down along the supply curve, this is the last combination of price and output, P and the Q naught output, where you are producing the positive level of output at the minimum point of ABC, which explains you shutdown point. Below this shutdown point, what will happen? Why this line we are deriving? That is zero output. Why it is that? Because we studied three conditions which is needed for profit maximizing level of output. The first condition is P is equal to MC. Second one, MC must be non-decreasing, it should be upward sloping. The third condition was price should be greater than or equal to ABC. When price becomes equal to ABC, that point we refer it as shutdown point. If price goes down, that is the second case. Our second case here, last class we studied that when price is less than ABC, firm is not going to produce that particular commodity. If the firm doesn't produce that particular commodity, what we say, zero product. That zero product is explained here. This line is zero product, because positive product means it should go above zero. This is an all positive level of production, because this is output line. Therefore, these are all beyond zero, we say positive level of output. But here, zero level of output. You will understand why this zero level of output, because here price is less than A. This is the minimum ABC. Therefore, below this minimum ABC, what we say? Price is less than ABC. This condition is met. At this condition, no firms will produce. When price goes down this point, price, what is that? When price goes down, lesser than this minimum ABC point, price stop the production. We say it shut down the operations of production. That is what it is mentioned here. Therefore, this point is called as shutdown point. If price or AR, this curve goes like this. This price line, this is price line, this is a parallel line. It's not a line goes like this, it's a parallel line. Parallel line, P is equal to AR is equal to MR. Always remember that. But we are studying perfect market competitive structure. Under that only functioning of firms are studied. Therefore, we can say price or this AR below this average variable cost, then firm will produce this output. This is called zero level of output. Zero level of output. That means firm has closed the operation, or firm has exit out of the market. That is the situation called shutdown point. I hope you understood clearly. We are linking shutdown point and the short-run supply curve of a firm under perfect competitive market structure. The next one, this one shutdown point continued. Here we have discussed that short-run firm continues to produce as long as price remains greater than or equal to minimum ABC. That is our first condition needed for profit maximizing level of output. It is clear. And along the supply curve, we move down. I have explained, when you move down along the supply curve, this is our supply curve, this is price, this is ABC, this is SMC, this is our supply curve, this is the thickened part portion. When you move down, this is the point, the last price combination, price output combination, the Q naught. This is the point where we say, that is the explanation of that sentence. When you move down along the positive level of output, when you reach the last combination between price and Q naught, that is the point is called as shutdown point. Shutdown point. And here, all the prices which is less than ABC, minimum ABC. When we say ABC, we see this is the minimum point. The ABC curve decline reaches the minimum and then increase. This is called minimum ABC. This and all we have studied under cost and production chapter. This is minimum ABC. Therefore, here less than ABC. What is the meaning of that? When price is less than ABC, why firm should close the production or should exist from the market? Because firm is unable to meet even the variable cost. If a firm is unable to meet variable cost, it's no point to run the production because firm will be under loss. No firm want to operate under loss, therefore say close that production and they will go for another new product. And the next question, next one. Shutdown point, at the shutdown point what is happening? At the shutdown point, anyway, the firms meets the variable cost, but firm is unable to recover the fixed cost. Even the firm unable to recover the fixed cost, still firm will stay in the market. It will not exit from the market. It will exist in the market, or it will stay in the market, hoping that by allocating the resources efficiently and adopting some efficient technology, they can improve their prices and the revenue will be more, and then they can recover the variable cost and fixed cost, hoping the better situation. But in case if the prices go down still further or average revenue goes still further, firm will come out of the market. Here at the shutdown point, firm incur, because even if you produce or not, you are not producing, a firm can have to incur the fixed cost. A fixed cost means even you are producing, because under cost function we studied, even the production of a firm is zero, fixed cost is there. Fixed cost will be there invariably, whether regardless your production or without production, it will be there. Why? When you have a tractor, even you are not producing a particular year, you have to pay income taxes, insurance fees for all that to own a tractor with you. Therefore, whether you are producing or not, fixed costs always incurring. Therefore, they want even the firm on mind to losing the fixed cost. It will only be concentrating covering the variable cost. As long as the firm can cover with its revenue or with its sale of outputs the total variable cost, firm will stay in the market. When the situation comes, it cannot cover even the variable cost, it closes the business. Therefore, it is explained, even the loss of fixed cost but does not stop production at this point, as fixed cost will still be incurred, and AR or price further falls. I told P is AR. When AR or P price further falls below the ABC, it closes the operation. And then below this, there will be no production. Below price is equal to minimum ABC point, that is shutdown point. Below shutdown point, there is no production. That point is called as shutdown point. And as shown in the above figure, shutdown point occurs where you have seen that the point S, where the minimum ABC and the price line and the SMC curve both intersect at a minimum ABC point. The next one, long run shutdown point of the firm. We have studied for last session both the long run supply curve and the short run supply curve of a firm. The long run supply curve of a firm you know only two cost curves are there. There is no differences between variable and fixed cost. You will have long run marginal cost curve and only long run average cost curve. And also you have to notice this, output is measured along x-axis and price and costs are measured and along the y-axis. And here also, what is the definition for long run supply curve of firm? The long run supply curve of a firm is a part of the marginal cost curve. That is very important in any exam point of view. You have to you have to denote, or you have to define that the supply curve of a firm is nothing but is a part of MRC curve, which is a rise from and above from the minimum LRAC curve for the prices greater than LRAC and or equal to LRAC, and together with the zero product for all the prices which is less than minimum LRAC. That is a supply, again the long term supply curve. When you extend the price, it intersect the minimum LRAC point, where LRMC curve also from below intersects the LRAC curve. That is point is called shutdown point. This is called long run shutdown point. And in the long run, shutdown point is minimum of LRAC. We know for the long run it is a minimum LRAC, short run it is minimum ABC. And shutdown point occurs in the long run at point L. This is the point L where the condition P is equal to minimum LRAC. Therefore, condition for shutdown point under long run production, it is price should be equal to minimum LRAC. And the same SMC curve, LRMC curve also cut below that is the point L. It is called as shutdown point. And at shutdown point, price is equal to minimum LRMC. And the next one, normal profit and break-even point. Under the shutdown point, we have seen that the revenue of the firm is only enough to cover variable cost of the firm for the particular product. But under break-even point, what is the difference between the break-even point and shutdown point? Under break-even point, it is little more better than shutdown point, because here the revenue of the firm is good enough to cover all the cost of the firm. What are all the cost? We have studied under cost function, fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost plus variable cost is called as total cost. Total fixed cost plus total variable cost is referred to as total cost. When you take average, TFC divided by Q plus TVC divided by Q plus TC divided by Q, what you will derive? AFC, average fixed cost, average variable cost. This is nothing but average cost. Therefore, the total cost consists of two components, fixed cost as well as variable cost. Therefore, what is happening under break-even point? The revenue is exactly equal to the total cost. That means it covers not only variable cost but also fixed cost. Therefore, that point where TR revenue is equal to TC is called as break-even point. At break-even point, the other concept is here. When a firm earns its total revenue equal to total cost, that we refer it as normal profit also. Normal profit means it's a zero profit, but I will explain later. Normal profit means where the situation of a firm TR is equal to TC. Therefore, equals to total cost, that is firm's revenues are sufficient enough to cover all its cost. You know all its cost mean both the total fixed cost and variable cost. Here, break-even point is the determine when TR is equal to TC. And dividing both the sides by Q, that is mean output produced by the firm, TR by Q, what is that? Total revenue per unit of output. What is total revenue per unit of output? Average revenue. What is total cost per unit of output? AC. Therefore, two terms you can mention your break-even point, as we have done in shutdown point also. Here, you can either say TR is equal to TC at the break-even point, or you can say AR is equal to AC. Both convey the same meaning. And so, break-even point is the point where when TR is equal to TC or AR is equal to AC. The next point, in this diagram, both the break-even point and the shutdown point is illustrated clearly. You can see here, at the price P2, the quantity output produced is Q2. That means at the P2, what is happening? The P2 intersect the minimum ABC curve. You know, when the price is equal to minimum ABC, what is the condition it is called as? It is called as shutdown point. Because below that point, firm is not going to operate. Why is it shutdown point? Why we say shutdown point? Because when the price is equal to minimum ABC, that after reaching that condition, firm is not going to produce any more. That is what this point is called as shutdown point. And when the other condition you can see here, price is equal to only ABC. What do you mean by price? Here you have to notice that we have explained already in our total revenue concept. The concept of revenue, what is that? TR is equal to, or I will write here, TR is equal to price into Q, quantity. Price into quantity. What is the revenue here? This distance and this distance. This distance will give you Q. This is OQ2. This is OP2. Therefore, TR is what here? TR is equal to price. What is price is measured by this height. OP2 into the quantity is produced at that point P2. The level of output OQ2. This will give you this total revenue, this whole area. This area total revenue, and also what is the cost? Cost also, because this y-axis not only price but also cost also indicated. Therefore, cost also, the minimum cost also same area only. Instead of C, you P2, you put C, cost. Here, this is the cost per unit, and also the total output is produced this much. Again, this is also indicate the cost area. Here, what do you get? What do you get here? TR is equal to TC, both. Whatever earned revenue, sorry, TVC, not what cost? TVC, not total cost, variable cost, average variable cost. Therefore, revenue is equal to the variable cost. If you say average revenue, you can say average variable cost. When you mention total revenue, you can mention total variable cost. Both are same concept only. TR is equal to TVC, or you can say AR is equal to AVC at this point, where shutdown point. Then the other point you can see, at a little more price, when price increased from P1 to P2 to P1, now price has increased. What is happening now? The total cost, the firm's revenue is able to cover the total cost. What does total cost mean? Not only variable cost, it covers this difference, the fixed cost also. This is the total cost. The whole total cost is here. Total cost. This is what? Only variable cost. Variable cost. This is what? TFC. Therefore, the total cost completely is covered by this price. Why? When price increase, what is happening? Quantity also increase. This is supply we are studying. When price increase, what will happen? The firms will supply more and more. The reason is, when the price increase, sales increase. When the sales increase, supply of product is increased. Therefore, automatically, when the price increase, the output supplied in the market quantity increase. Therefore, price into quantity is what increase? Total revenue increase. When the total revenue increase, not only it covers the variable cost, but also it covers the fixed cost. Therefore, all the cost of the incurred by the firm is sufficiently covered by the revenue earned by the sale of output of the firm. Because here the revenue box is only this much at P2 price. Here at the P1 price, that is the point where we are saying break-even point. Here the revenue also covers the total cost. I told you, we can interchangeably, sometimes there is average variable cost, or also you can say total variable cost. Total variable cost in the sense for the total output you are telling. Variable cost mean average mean per unit of output you are telling. Therefore, at this break-even point, here price is equal to ATC. Here price is at this point price is equal to average total cost, or you can say average cost also, because they have written total cost. This is really average cost, both variable cost and fixed cost. Total average cost we write in other words average cost only. Therefore, this is the point where P is equal to total average cost, or we can say ATC, or we can say TAC, average total cost or total average cost. This is the point. It is called break-even point. I hope you understood this clearly, because same diagram we are explaining shutdown point and the break-even point. Because break-even point above shutdown point, because there it covers both the cost, variable cost and the fixed cost. The next point, break-even point also is referred as a normal profit. On the supply curve, this is the supply curve, you know. You know what is supply curve in the perfect market competitive? This area is called a supply curve, and this supply, on the supply curve, when firm earns TR is equal to TC or AR to AR is equal to AC, we say firms earn normal profit. Normal profit means the situation where firms earn total revenue equivalent to total cost. That means it covers all the cost. The next one, normal profit. What is a normal profit? Because we have a connection between break-even point, normal profit, both are same. Say they require the same condition. Therefore, minimum level of profit which is needed for a firm to exist in the same business is called as break-even point. Therefore, break-even point, normal profit. But this normal profit is the minimum level of profit which is needed by a firm to exist in the business is called normal profit. Therefore, normal profit, minimum level of profit needed to keep a firm in existing business defined as normal profit. At normal profit, what is happening? TR is equal to TC. This is the same condition we defined for a break-even point also. Break-even point and the normal profit coincides at the same condition, that is called as TR is equal to TC, or we can say AR is equal to AC also. And what is profit? Profit is equal to, profit pi is equal to what? Pi, we denote profit by this notation pi, and is equal to TR minus TC. But at normal profit, what is the condition? TR is equal to CC. Therefore, TR instead of CC also you can write TR is equal to TC. Therefore, what is it? It gives us 0. TR minus, when TR is equal to TC, pi is equal to 0. Therefore, normal profit is also called as a situation of zero profit. When TR is equal to TC, firm doesn't earn any more profit, but it's a zero profit. The next, this normal profit is explained again, is very illustrated clearly in this diagram. You can see quantity supplied and cost and revenue on the y-axis, quantity supplied or other name output supplied on the x-axis. You can see here there are different levels of prices, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 in the market. Here at the P2, what is happening? Price, price line and it intersect the minimum AVC. This is the AVC curve. It goes from here, minimum AVC curve. Therefore, price line, this P2 and the minimum AVC intersect, and also MC curve cut from below. This is the intersection point. We know what are the conditions for the maximum level of output under a firm functioning under perfect competitive market. Is all the conditions are fulfilled here. That is P is equal to minimum AVC. Then we have already studied that when price is equal to minimum AVC, it is called shutdown point. That means if price goes down to P1, price will come out of the market. Firm will come out of the market, no more production. Or we will say below P2 here will be zero product. See, you can see here break-even point. Within bracket, break-even point also mentioned as normal profit. Therefore, break-even point, normal profit meets the same requirements. Here, what is that? Price is equal to minimum ATC, that is average cost. Price is equal to ATC, that is average total cost or total average cost, we can say. Here it is met. That means you can see from this diagram this revenue here. In this point, the revenue only this much. At P2, only is enough to cover variable cost. Now you see, when the price increase, why the quantity increase? You have to think about it. When the price increase from P2, that is the price where the shutdown point is P2, it goes to P4 here, P4 up to here, P4 up to here. We reach break-even point here. We reach shutdown point here. Why? When price P2 to P4, P2 to P4, why the quantity increase? You know that in the market, price and quantity supply have a positive relationship. Therefore, when the price increase for output, the firm supply also will increase. Therefore, output supplied is increase from Q2 to Q4, from here to here. Therefore, you know that total revenue is calculated by price into quantity supplied. Therefore, when P2 price also increase, quantity also increase, therefore automatically the revenue is going to increase. When revenue increase, the revenue will be sufficient to meet not only variable cost, but also the difference between variable cost is fixed cost also. Therefore, it covers at break-even point all the cost. Where TR is equal to TC, and that point is called normal profit. I hope it is very much clear, this concept of shutdown point, concept of break-even point, concept of normal profit. The next one, we are going to see the other topic for today, determinants of a firm supply curve. We know what is a firm supply curve. Under a firm operating under perfect competition, for a firm operating under perfect competitive market structure. Here, what do you mean by supply curve? This is a peculiar situation under perfect competitive market structure. Supply curve is nothing but a part of its marginal cost curve. It's a segment of the marginal cost curve, that you are clear about it. And therefore, any factors which affects or which changes the marginal cost curve will change the supply curve, because supply curve under perfect competitive market structure is nothing but a part of MC curve. Any factors influence the marginal cost curve also will influence the supply curve of the firm. Then there are so many factors to determine the supply of a firm, but according to a syllabus, there are 3 factors only is mentioned. The rest of the factors you will study under your degree level. Here, there are price factors, non-price factors. But here some 3 factors we are studying. Determinants of firm supply curve, technological progress, input prices, and taxes of the government. Only these things will be relevant to the examination point of view. And technological progress. What do you mean by technological progress? For example, I'm taking an example of paddy production. The paddy production by laborers transplanting seedlings manually by hand. You know, laborers will be transplanting themselves. And therefore, for example, we say in a very long time back, with the factors of production used, we will say assume capital and labor for the paddy production. And subsequently, what happened? After innovation, after the agricultural industry in India gone through the technological revolution or the technological progress, we can say in 1970, India became self-sufficient in food grains because of Swaminathan Foundation, where they found out the high-yielding variety seeds. When they found out that high-yielding variety seeds, per acreage production went off very much, therefore very, very high. Thereby, food grain production able to become self-sufficient, because all the Asian countries, we are all dependent for our staple food rice production. Therefore, paddy production needed more innovative researches, because the objective is to increase the rice production, because that is a staple food of Asians. And therefore, the technology play a major role in the supply of an output, and also the cost of production, and also the maximum level of output with available limited resources. Therefore, when you say capital and labor, all our chapters are linked together. Production efficiency, cost efficiency, consumer efficiency, everything is linked each other with each other. You should be able to connect with each chapter. Therefore, the capital and labor is used. But after, in the agricultural industry in India, after the introduction of innovation in the agricultural sector, what happened? The level of capital and the level of labor to be used to produce a given level of output changed. How it changed? We'll see. You can see the paddy transplanting by manual laborers. Here, for manual transplanting paddy, 12 to 16 laborers needed for 2 acres per day. But after the innovation of this machine, it is called Paddy Panther 26 innovative planting paddy machine. After the innovative technology, you won't believe, within 1 to 1.5 hours, this machine transplant paddy seedlings for an acre. Only just 1 to 1.5. In paddy production in all the Asian countries, during the peak seasons, it's very difficult to hire a labor. When the water available, when the season is coming, but labor will be very huge shortage. When there is a shortage of labor, what will happen? Wage rate will be very high wage rate. Therefore, when the wage rate is very high, what will happen to the cost of production? Cost of production will be very high. When the cost of production will be high, what will happen to the rice production? The price of rice production will go high. But for all the people, many people depend on rice. We can't keep the rice price very high. Therefore, some alternative measures, by improving efficient technology, we have to keep cost of production under control minimum. Thereby only the agricultural industry in the paddy production can be profitable. For that sake, what they did, continuous effort in the technological progress, they found out a machine called Paddy Panther 26. What happened? 1 to 1.5 hours, 5 to 8 acres per day. Therefore, what happened? Efficiently, within a short time, large acreages were planted with paddy seedling, cutting the cost of labor very much drastically. And therefore, a given level of output, the organizational innovation allows the firms to fewer units of input. Now, the same 1 acre land and same capital, you will get maximum level of output due to the adoption of new machine of transplantation of paddy production. Therefore, advanced improved technology reduces cost, leading to profit. Therefore, what cost is reduced in this case? Labor cost. Not only labor cost reduced, but also because machines are planting the seedlings in a very constant spacing, and between two crops, very much sunlight is available, aeration is available. Therefore, not only that, plants are spaced apart. Therefore, the tillers will be more. That means branches of the paddy will be more. Therefore, more production yield is expected from that same acreage. And also, the attack of pest and the disease attack, because of enough spacing between crops, is also improved. Therefore, this technology not only replaced labor cost, but also increased maximum level of output. After all, the profit has gone up. Therefore, advanced improved technology reduces cost and leading to more profit. Therefore, thus a change in technique of production which lessens the cost of production, increase the supply of a commodity. The cost of production decrease, what will happen? Price of the commodity goes down. When prices less, people buy more and more. When the prices are very high, even poor people and middle income people, it's very difficult to get into the commodity, to get the supply of that commodity. That is why efforts are constantly made by the producing units to evolve efficient technology. We have already seen under production sector that production function is defined only for efficient production, maximum level of output, which results with the efficient technology. And the next one, technological. Now we are going to explain diagrammatically how the technological progress have the impact on supply curve. You know the supply curve, what is this curve? I hope you remember. This is nothing but short-run supply curve of a firm under perfect market competition. Under this curve, this is our supply curve, is a part of the marginal cost curve. What happens? When the cost of production decrease because of labor shortage, labor costs were cut down by improving the new technology. Therefore, what is this? Price and cost. the cost will decline. When the cost will decline, what will happen? This is the cost curve only. If the cost is increasing, this will move this side, left side. If the cost is decline, it comes, because if it is vertical, what will happen with it is vertical? If it is, this is the cost line, this both the price and cost is mentioned along the y-axis. Therefore, which is cost more, it will come like this. It will move this side, move vertically. The cost will increase. Cost will increase. What is happening now? It is cost horizontally, outside, rightward. When the rightward shift, what is happening is cost is lesser and lesser, lesser and lesser. At the same time, what is happening to output? Output is going on increasing. Output is going on, because this is output line. Output is going on increasing. Therefore, when there is a technical progress, our market MC curve, SMC curve moves, cost of production decrease. When the cost of production decrease, marginal cost also decrease, because cost of production, nothing, it is constituted by marginal cost and average cost. Therefore, cost of production decrease means marginal cost decrease. When the marginal cost decrease, marginal cost curve moves rightward or downward. When marginal cost move downward, your output will increase. Therefore, the firm will supply more output. When the cost decrease, what will happen? The direct impact of the cost is where? On the prices of the commodity. When the cost decrease, price of the commodity decrease. Price of the commodity decrease, consumers will buy more and more output. Therefore, supply is increases. I hope you understood. The next one. Technological progress, advanced, improved technology will lower the firm's marginal cost. Therefore, any level of output, therefore, marginal cost will be less. Therefore, rightward or downward shift. This is the answer, because I have given all this write-up, because this is an important question. It's a 6 marks questions from Karnataka University, Pre-University Department Board. There you have to write 20 sentences. You have to relate your technological progress with the marginal cost. Then the marginal cost with the supply curve with the help of diagram. This is a long answer question. Therefore, marginal cost at any level of output, that is, there is a rightward downward shift of the MC curve. But we know what is supply curve. Supply curve is nothing but is a part of or a segment of the marginal cost curve. When we say marginal cost shift rightward, what is shifting rightward? Supply curve is shifting rightward. Therefore, essentially segment of the MC curve, technological progress, shift the supply curve of the firm to the right. When they right, what will happen? Rightward output axis, more and more output. Therefore, at any given market price, firm now supplies more units of output. I hope everything is clear. Now we will go to input prices. We will see to that how input prices will determine the supply curve of a firm under perfect market competition. Input prices, when we will take the same example, we are using number of laborers to transplant the paddy seedlings in the paddy production. In the seasonal, because paddy is a seasonal crop, sometime during a particular season, all the farmers wants more and more laborers to transplant seedlings. That time, due to the shortage of labor, the wage cost will be very high. When the cost of production, it depends on the wage cost. Therefore, the cost of laborers increases, the cost of production increases. When the cost of production increases, in the sense, average cost as well as marginal cost both increases. When both the cost increases, what will happen to the supply curve? We have seen that supply curve is nothing but is a part of the marginal cost curve. Therefore, when input prices increase, marginal cost increase, therefore, what will happen? The supply curve, you can see that a change in input prices also affects supply curve. If the price of an input increases, the cost of production rises. The consequent increase in the firm's average cost as well as marginal cost also will increase at any level of output. That is, there is a leftward or upward shift in the marginal cost curve. I can explain you with the diagram here. This is output. This is cost. You know that our marginal cost curve, where price is equal to ABC. This is the cost supply curve also. Supply curve is nothing but is a part of marginal cost curve. what will happen when the cost increase? This cost curve will move leftward. Now the curve will become a very vertical because cost of production is going on increasing. When firm is with this therefore what is called marginal cost moves mean leftward, what it actually moves? Supply curve moves. Supply curve moves leftward. When supply curve moves leftward, what will happen to the output? Fewer output. Before it was this level of output, now it comes to lesser Q naught level. Therefore, when the supply curve move leftward or upward, the output supplied also declines. Therefore, at any given market price, the firm now supplies fewer units of output. And if the price of an input, other hand, when a question being asked, what is the influence of input prices on supply curve? Not only you should tell when input price increase, supply curve moves leftward, but also you have to explain what will happen to the supply curve when the input prices decrease. The other way around, that is, when the input prices decrease, cost of production decrease. When the cost of production decrease, marginal cost decrease, then the supply curve is nothing but a part of the marginal cost curve. Therefore, supply curve moves rightward. When it moves rightward, more output will be supplied. Therefore, if the price of an input, say wage of labor, decreases, the cost of production falls, supply curve shifts to the rightward. Therefore, both should be mentioned when in the case of input prices. Impact of a unit tax on supply. And also we have seen the taxation also affect the supply curve. Why? What do you mean by unit tax? The government imposes tax on the sale of a unit of output, a particular pen. For example, pen is 40 rupees mean tax is 5 rupees per unit of pen. How much now price of the pen? 45 rupees. Therefore, price increases. Therefore, unit tax on supply of output also have an impact on the supply of curve. Therefore, a unit tax a government imposes per unit sale of output. For example, if we say for a packet of milk is 30 rupees, is all the products within the country produced subjected to tax by the government. It is called excise tax. All the domestic products are under taxation by the government. For example, milk product, we say per liter product of milk, 2 rupees per 1 liter milk per packet. Therefore, we are selling 10 packets. How much tax, total tax for the 10 output of 10 liter milk? It is 20 rupees. Therefore, if for example, just to explain you what we mean by unit tax, example, a product is produced, is government imposes 2 rupees per that product. I took the example of a milk packet of 1 liter. For 1 liter of 30 rupees milk becomes as 32 rupees now. And then if it is a 10 packets we are selling, we have to pay 20 rupees tax. What will happen to? Now, because as far as tax is concerned, we are only considering long run cost curve, because taxation is a continuous process. The taxation scheme of government. It will not consider 1 day, 2 day we are supplying and then a small supplier, a short run supplier we are not considering into a concern, because we are taking only long run firms which supply the outputs, comes under the taxation scheme of the government. Therefore, we are only considering the long run. Before tax is imposed, what is in the long run curve, long run cost curves, there are only 2 costs, long run average cost and long run marginal cost. Before the imposition of tax at the price P0, the tax curves are LRAC 0, LRMC 0, initial stage before the imposition. After rupees T per unit of tax introduced or imposed, now you are getting a new cost curve. LRMC not become as LRMC1, LRAC not changed into LRAC1. That is, this cost curves before the imposition of tax, this set of 2 cost curves after the imposition of rupees rupees T per unit of output. Therefore, now the price of that output increased by T unit. Now what is that? P0 plus T. That is what this cost also from this stage to same level of output shifted to upward by T units. The T units of tax, that is unit tax, P0 to plus T. Next one, impact of a unit tax on supply. What is the supply? As shown in the above, before unit tax imposed, you know LRMC not, LRAC not. That is in the long run. What is LRMC? Long run marginal cost. What is LRAC? Long run average cost before the imposition of tax. LRAC 1, LRMC 1 is respectively long run average cost and long run marginal cost after imposition of tax. Unit tax rupees T is imposed. Therefore, what is long run supply curve of a firm? Because we are linking that how this supply curve is moved rightward or leftward, we have to explain. Before that, we should know what is the supply curve for the long run firms. Long run firms supply curve is, we have already studied, that is a part of the long run marginal cost curve which rises from and above from minimum LRAC and together with the zero supply curve or zero product curve for all the prices which is less than or equal to minimum LRAC. All the prices which is less than this zero output. All the prices which is equal or more than this positive level of output supply. Therefore, this is again we define, it is important you have to define, then only you know, if you know the supply curve only, you know how the supply curve will move. Therefore, supply curve is nothing but part of LRMC. Therefore, the rising part of the LRMC curve from and above the minimum LRAC together with the zero output for all prices less than or minimum LRAC. And now, we are just showing that segment only now we are showing. We know what is this. It came from the rising part of the LRMC curve. Therefore, this LRMC curve, we denote it as S0. What is that? Supply curve before the imposition of unit tax. I hope you understood where we got this branch of supply curve. It's a segment of positive output supply curve when the price is greater than or equal to LRAC. And after imposition of tax, what is happening? When you increase the tax, what will happen? Each unit sold prices are increases. When prices are increases, that reflects on the cost of production of that particular product. When the cost of production increases, what we increase? Marginal cost to average cost both increases. Therefore, marginal cost is what? Is the supply, marginal cost is nothing but supply curve of the firm in the perfect competitive market firm. Therefore, here the supply curve move, cost of production move, therefore MC curve move leftward, therefore supply curve also move leftward or upward. That means you will now produce supply lesser and lesser product. Why when the tax increase, why you are supplying less? Why firm supplies less? When tax include, that tax in additional tax is included in the price only. The cost of price of the product will increase. What will happen when the price of the product become commodity become costlier? People will buy, sales will be less. People will not buy all the people at high cost. Therefore, the cost of the product increase, price of the product increase, therefore sales of the product will decrease, therefore supply will going on decrease because it goes leftward shift. We have seen if it is coming downward, output will going on increasing. If it is goes leftward, output become shrinking. That means lesser and lesser. Therefore, at P0 plus T, marginal cost curve or other word supply curve shift leftward. I hope you understood. S0 is a supply curve of a firm before a unit tax is imposed. After unit tax T is imposed, S dash represent the supply curve of a firm. And here long run supply curve, the unit tax shifts the long run supply curve to the left. That is what upward arrow I have indicated. And at any market price, the firm supplies fewer units of output. You know, when you go upward, here downward our output level is x-axis. When you go leftward towards a cost line, y-axis, the output level supplied is lesser and lesser. Therefore, now I am closing this chapter with the assignment. Answer the following questions in 4 sentences. Give the meaning of shutdown point. This is why I have given the marks also. You should know the importance of the lesson. Here, if it is a 4 sentences, 2 marks question. Whatever the topic which I have covered, There are chances of asking meaning of the shutdown point. You have to write 4 sentences and also mention the 2 determinants of a firm supply curve. That is under 4 sentences. But if the same question being asked on the 12 sentences, 4 marks, explain the determinants of a firm supply curve. You have to explain a little bit with the diagram, more sentences. Thank you for your patient listening. We will meet you in the next class. Sai Ram to you all.